Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there.
Can I throw a pretty ridiculous,
Sure.
but I believe it's correct NBA take at you?
Absolutely. I love these.
Okay. So right now, if you had to pick a team to win the West, you would pick who?
I think the Lakers match up with Denver physically. Now that Karl Anthony Towns is hurt, they don't. OKC's too young. Phoenix too mid-range. They duplicate too many of their skills. I think Denver will eventually, if healthy, win. I think Boston's deeper, but will.
No, I'm just talking about West. I'm just talking about West. Denver is the heavy favorite by everyone.
Yes.
Right? I agree with you. Even though they're the 9 seed, the Lakers appear to me to have the most upside. Everyone's healthy, everything clicks, all of it. But they can't beat Denver. They got swept by him last year. They got swept in the regular season. They've lost to him.
Games are close.
Games are close, but they just can't beat them. Okay. So here is the take that's going to sound ridiculous, but I truly believe. The Lakers should want Denver in round 1. And here's why. If you have to beat them no matter what, if the assumption is no one's going to beat them for you, okay? Right. You're going to have to beat them. You want them in round 2 when you just went 6 or 7 with Minnesota or OKC and they swept whoever they were playing. You want them in round 3 when the games are every other day, or you want them in round 1 when there's 2 or 3 days between games at times.
Yep.
LeBron and AD can both play 44 minutes. You are as fresh as you're going to be at any point and try to knock them off when they, you know what I mean, right before they have really hit their stride. So again, I think the Lakers in a series against Denver are like 15%. And it's not like if they got them in round 1, they'd be 50. But I think 30. That 15% might go up to around. I truly believe that. Listen, I don't think they could beat them every other day because you need LeBron to play too much, AD to play too much.
That's right.
But round 1 would be an intriguing spot where you could just play LeBron and AD like the whole game every time, be like you have 2 days off.
This has been my theory on the Lakers. If it was March Madness style, like the in-season,
they could win the title.
They'd win the title. And if I was Adam Silver and I wanted to extend KD, LeBron, and Steph's efficiency and greatness, I would make the first round 3, the second 2 rounds 5 games, and the finals 7. If Steph loses in the finals, LeBron or KD, that's fine. I won. But asking older players, even if you're a dominant favorite, you lose games in a series because nobody sweeps anybody. I mean, outside of LeBron in the first round, nobody sweeps anybody. So what's happening is you're making revenue, but you really lessen the chances of the Warriors. And Steph is carrying the Warriors now. He has to go 6 games in the first 2 playoffs there. If it was 3 and they steal what Steph takes 2.
You're right. Yeah.
So I've always said, forget the greed. Shorten the playoff series until the finals, and it allows older players to remain viable in those last 2 to 3 years of their contract or career, like KD, LeBron, and Steph right now.
Well, so that's, and the age thing, this is what nobody realizes is how old these guys are in NBA years. Kobe Bryant won the final playoff game Kobe Bryant ever won. He was 33. The final playoff game Michael Jordan ever won, he was 35. Steph is 36. KD is either 36 right or about to be. I'm going to check. LeBron obviously is 37. We are already on. KD is 35, turns 36 in a few months. We're on borrowed time with these guys. We've been on borrowed time with LeBron, but we are on borrowed time with these guys. And folks don't realize it, like because LeBron has won a title and finals MVP at 35 and then was in the conference finals at 38. That's not the history. That's not There is no precedent for that. Those guys are not supposed to still be carrying their rosters. And the Durant thing, man, this is an unbelievable stat. Durant's first 11 years in the league, Colin, he played 49 conference finals or NBA finals games, 1,999 minutes in the conference finals or the NBA finals. So in Durant's first 11 seasons, 6 years, he was in the second to last, series of the year. And 3 years, he was in the last one. In the 6 years he has played since then, he has played 11 minutes in the conference finals and NBA finals. Kevin Durant in his 30s has played 11 minutes past round 2.
Hey.
Which is a damn shame, but it is wild that it has happened.
I said it when it happened. I know I'm giving myself credit, but when he left Golden State for Brooklyn, I said, this is the equivalent of Mahomes saying, I have a friend playing for the Jets. I want to go to the Jets. We would go, the fuck you talking about? You're out of your mind. Andy Reid, Steve Kerr, Steph, Clay, Draymond. That is the difference between LeBron and KD. LeBron may have had a difference with teammates. LeBron would be like, this is a cash cow. I'm not going any. LeBron has left old D Wade, crazy Kyrie. He's left untalented Cleveland. If Kyrie would have stayed and Kevin Love, he would have stayed in Cleveland. LeBron has left because of his exit strategies were usually,
LeBron has left because he thought that this is over. I need to be able to win elsewhere.
That's right. And he did.
And listen, KD, this is where you and I do somewhat disagree. I totally get why KD left, because we all said, those rings don't count, loser. Don't care. Everybody yelled at him, said, you're ruining the sport. The rings don't count. It wasn't the leaving, just the leaving. It was the leaving plus being like, I'm going to go from the lowest maintenance, most reliable wingman superstar in Steph Curry to the highest maintenance, least reliable one in in Kyrie Irving. Like, going from that to that is what and then the Phoenix thing, like, Phoenix built poorly. The roster never made sense, but listen, KD's no longer a true MVP candidate. He's closer to the 10th best player in the league than the best player in the league.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which is, but for him to, in the last 6 years, not make it out of round 2 is one of the wildest things ever for a player of his caliber. To not get those, his whole 20s NBA postseason great series moments, he was a part of it. He was a part of the tapestry. And now he hasn't played, a really bit. He's played, in my opinion, in the last 6 years, one huge game. Game 7 against Giannis and that was round 2. And that was the game where he stepped on the line, where he hit what he thought was the game winner and stepped on the line and then lose in overtime. And that's it. Other than that, it's getting worked in round 1 or going out in round. It sucks. It's not what and I'm not like killing him for it. I don't think it's because he's like not a great player, but it is I don't have I don't have it in front of me, but it feels a little like the last, half decade of Marino, or maybe 8 years of Marino, where it's like, it's not like there were a bunch of deep, I know you didn't win a ring, but you had deep playoff runs. It's like, no, there's a lot of years where it's just like, you lost in the wild card round, you lost in round 2, you missed the playoffs, you lost in the wild card round. So because I think the reason I bring it up is I think Phoenix is going to stay in the 9-10 area. I think, you know what I mean? Phoenix, you lose to San Antonio without Wemby. And Phoenix have you seen, Colin, Phoenix's last 10?
Oh, it's brutal.
It's the hardest. I'm just going to tell it what it is to the audience because it is the hardest schedule left in the NBA by a mile. This is what Phoenix has the rest of the way. At Denver, at OKC, at the Pelicans, home for the Cavs. That's the easiest game. Home for the Timberwolves, home for the Pelicans, home for the Clippers, at the Kings, at the Timberwolves. Every game they play is against a team with a better record than them. 6 are on the road. 4 are against the top 3 seeds in the West. There is no gimmies in there. And they've fallen already have they fallen to the 9? I don't know if they've fallen to the 9 or they're going to fall to the 9.
I think the Suns are 8, Lakers 9, Warriors
That's right.
10.
That's exactly right. And the Rockets are nipping at everybody's heels at 11.
Yeah.
The Suns are the 8. You're correct. And the Lakers are two behind them. And the Lakers are going to, by the time people hear this, the Lakers will have, I would imagine, lost to the Bucks. But there's the thing for the Lakers, not to do schedule, radio. The Lakers play the Bucks tonight. And they're getting rolled as we record it. After this, Grizzlies, Pacers, Nets are the next 3, and then I think they have 2 easy ones after that. They go Grizzly, Pacers, Nets, Raptors, Wizards. So, yes, they're going to lose tonight, and then they have 5 of the worst teams in basketball the next 5. That's a tough spot for the Suns. Tough spot.
Nick Wright, always love it.
You're the best. Thank you for drinking with me.
I finished it at a perfect time.
So here's the thing. So I have, everybody does podcasts differently. And there's the last thing I'll say. You and I would say, whether it's the Volume, Colin Cowherd podcast, or What's Right with Nick Wright, you and I treat our podcasts like a, kind of more relaxed version of what we do in our regular lives, like our regular shows. I know that there are other strategies that are far more aggressive or audacious or whatever it is.
Right.
So maybe the happy medium, since we can't stop talking about them, is one time doing a 4-person pod. You, me, and Danielle, and we just see how that thing goes. And if it's, there's a 40% chance it's unairable for our sakes. Then it just goes in the archives. But if not, it could be a viral bonanza. So think about that.
I told Ann, we had a disagreement recently, and I said, I'm willing to do a 15-minute pod on this disagreement, and the audience decides who's right. She was not down.
How'd that work out? Yeah, I would imagine that.
She doesn't like any of this stuff. She hates
I know. It. So here's the thing. We need to get Ann and Danielle together, and then maybe we could do it. Because I think that they will have enough commonalities between being married to us, living with us, and their own stuff that maybe we can do it one day. But this is fun as always. I'll talk to you next week, my friend.
All right, buddy.
See ya. Bye.